Welcome, Amakhosi Network. News coming out is that Ranga may be possibly leaving Kaizer Chiefs to go sign for Yanga, the team Yanga, Young Africa, whatever the other name is. But yeah, that's the news. But before we get into that, please like, subscribe, comment, and tell us what you think of the story that we are gonna chat about. And please, if you can, join and become a member, contribute to the channel. But like and subscribe. We're almost at 2K. Please, guys. For those who are not subscribed, please subscribe. We're almost at 2K. I always say this. The stats per YouTube say over 93% of you guys who watch our channel are not subscribed. So please subscribe. But anyway, let's get to it. So an article broke yesterday. It was a Far Post article that there are rumors going around that Yanga is trying to secure a loan for Ranga. So pay Ranga Chivaviro. So the rumors were doing the rounds in Tanzania, at where Yanga is from, and not Ranga, Yanga, Young Africans is from. And yeah, so that's the news has been going there. And why is the news going like this? Because Yanga was one of the clubs that wanted to sign Ranga Chivaviro desperately after last season. If you all remember, Morumo Gallants played Young Africans Yanga in the semi-finals and they beat Morumo Gallants and then they went to the finals. And so now they've been wanting Ranga Chivaviro because they believe they can get the best out of him. Why is that? Because Yanga had a player called Fiston Mayele. A lot of us know him. A lot of us wanted him at Kaizer Chiefs because he was a proven goal scorer. They say in about 2 seasons, he scored about 54 goals. And as Kaizer Chiefs fans, we always said we want someone who we know can score, not someone who we think can score. So yeah, so they wanted to get Ranga to be their player since Fiston signed for Pyramids where Laila K plays now. Not Laila K, Fagri K plays now. And yeah, so then now apparently they haven't found a decent striker like Fiston Mayela. And they're seeing that Ranga is not really getting game time and Chiefs is not using him the way they believe. So they've been trying to get him. So to do this, Far Post went as far as going to speak to Ranga's agent and just to find out how true is this information really and just see how far it goes. And apparently Ranga's agent said none of this information is true, that Ranga has Young Africans has a contract with Kaizer Chiefs has a contract with Ranga for 2 years, so Ranga is happy at Kaizer Chiefs. There's no problems there. And then Far Post basically said they went back and they also did their research to see if the rumor is true, and they concluded that there's no negotiations with Ranga Chivaviro to go on loan, and that is their conclusion. Now, in all of that, I'm sure all of you are like, oh, so he's not going anywhere. And me personally say this. Where there's smoke, oftentimes there's fire. So I say this. A rumor like this cannot just come out of nowhere. Sometimes these rumors, yes, they just made up just to get attention, because when you use Kaizer Chiefs name in a lot of things, you just gain attention. So sometimes that could be the issue now. But at the same time, I say this. Ranga is not performing at Kaizer Chiefs. Kaizer Chiefs can't use him the way I think young Africans believe that they can use him. So then these guys are desperate for a striker because they say they haven't replaced them or gotten a proven striker like Fiston Mayela. So for them, they do want Ranga. Like if we have to be honest, they do want Ranga. And in the Kaizer Chiefs side, we have Ranga, but he's not really giving us anything. So from a business side of things, now I'm going to talk business. From a business side of things, you bought a striker. He's your main striker because Gonzalez hasn't even acclimatized properly. So Ranga is our main striker. Our main striker has only scored 1 goal the whole season. And because he's only scored 1 goal, like nothing has been happening for Kaizer Chiefs, because yeah, we can't have a striker who's not scoring. So the thing is that there's a cost benefit if Chiefs loan him out. What if the Chiefs loan him out? I'm making an example. I'm not saying these numbers are true. If Ranga costs Chiefs per month about 400K, what happens is that Chiefs can make a deal with young Africans and say, Ranga is costing us 400K. If you guys can pay 75% of his salary, so pay 300K and we all pay the 100K, then you guys can take him and then we all find a replacement in South Africa. 300K for the last 6 months is basically a 1.8 million that Chiefs would be saving. Instead of paying Ranga, they would save that money. I'm not saying he earns 400K, I'm just making an example. So that's what I say. There's a cost benefit. If you already can see good, Ranga is not fitting what Kaizer Chiefs wants to do, that's the positive side. What is the negative side? The negative side is that Chiefs does not have a lot of strikers. So we need to sign a striker. And if we don't sign a striker, you can't really let go of the striker you have, you know. And the other negative part of this whole thing is that Ranga is not a foreign player. Ranga is a South African. So because Ranga Chivaviro is a South African, loaning him makes no difference to us because it's not like he's clearing a foreign spot. He's not clearing a foreign spot. For example, if we then sent Gonzalez back to Colombia and said we're going to find another international player to join, then that makes sense. You letting go of a foreign player, you're adding a foreign player. Ranga is not a foreign player. So the only benefit for Ranga is that Chiefs can save money on his 2-year deal and he can go there and play, etc., and then come back, and Chiefs would have saved about maybe over R1 million on salary for him. That is the positive. But now my opinion is this: if Chiefs don't sign a new striker now in January, there's no way they will let Ranga go. So if we don't sign a player like maybe Kaizer Mayo, I'm making an example of South African players because we don't have a free foreign spot now because the foreign players we have are actually playing. So that's the big difference. So if we don't find a South African striker, Kaizer Mayo, like the Dinon Ndlovus, Ralani was let go of by Cape Town Spurs, Ralani, those kind of players, then we have to stick with Ranga because we don't have a backup to that. So that is my opinion there. If you don't have a backup, then stay with what you have until you figured out a backup plan. So the other backup is letting Gonzalez go from his loan and finding another striker who has more scoring qualities, who's also a foreign player. So that is another thing, but I don't think Chiefs is going to let go of Gonzalez yet. I feel like they haven't given him enough time. My opinion on Gonzalez is that I haven't seen his striker ability yet, and I haven't seen him be aggressive to unlock. Why do I say aggressive to unlock? Before, when Junior Mendieta arrived inside, let me actually not even go to Junior Mendieta. Castillo. Chiefs right now is not the most creative team, but because of the hunger Castillo has, he gets goals. If you had a striker like that from South America who was like Castillo, but his main job is to score goals, I think right now he would have 10 goals for Kaizer Chiefs. Not because he's good, maybe let me say 7 to 10 goals for Kaizer. Not because Chiefs is supplying, etc., but because he's using the little that he has to score goals. But Gonzalez, the little that he has, he can't. He's actually basically at the same level as other South African players. If you have to be honest, he's on the same level. He's not better than us, he's on our level. That is my problem. And you can't have a foreign player who is at our level. We need a foreign player who is better than the average South African striker. And better than the average South African striker means that the average South African striker can't even score 10 goals. So if you're better than the average South African striker, you should at least be able to score 12 and maybe assist 5 goals. That's better. but then he hasn't shown that. But maybe it's also because he hasn't played enough. So we also have to be fair. You can't prove anything if you're not on the field to prove it. So there's a question. Give him time, send him back, find a better striker. But knowing Chiefs, because we don't have a proper scouting department, yeah, if you can't strike a solid player, then that is what happens. Amakhosi for life. Thank you for watching the channel. Polokwane City is coming this weekend. We're going to chat about that on Friday. Amakhosi for life.